If you're looking for a career in project management, the chances are you will learn how to manage projects, but you won't necessarily learn how to be a good project manager. And while that might seem like a contradictory statement, the two things can be quite different. And failure to understand the difference between how to manage projects and how to be a good project manager can have a detrimental effect on the career of a new project manager. And in this video, I'm going to explain the difference between those two, and also in future videos explain what you can do to be a really great project manager. Welcome to The Pragmatic Professional. My name's Ian, and for the last 20 years I've been delivering organisational change within the financial services industry. In simple terms, I help organisations make complex change simple and individuals become great project managers. Recently I've published the book, The Project Management Mindset, which is aimed at helping individuals develop the behaviours and soft skills required to become great project managers that aren't taught or can't be taught by project management methodologies. And over the coming months, I'm going to walk through the chapters of my book one by one in a series of videos. So if you're an individual looking to get into the profession of project management, or you're an existing project manager looking to learn more and develop those soft skills and behaviours to become a great project manager, subscribe to this channel to get the notifications of when those videos are released. So when I say there's a difference between learning to manage projects and learning to be a project manager, what do I mean? Well, if you've looked into the profession of project management and looking to enter it, the chances are you've seen the default path is to learn one of the various industry standard methodologies out there and to also certify with one of the industry standard bodies, people like the IPM, the IPMA, the PMI, methodologies like PRINCE2, PMP, and then to seek a job in project management to learn and apply those skills. And while there are many various methodologies out there and they all differ slightly, they all generally offer the same thing. What they offer is a framework for project managers and project teams to operate in, a framework to guide a project from inception, from the very start, through to the end in controlled, guided stages. They provide a framework for project teams and project managers to work within to help deliver desired outcomes with unknown variables in uncertain environments in a controlled, predictable fashion. Projects by their very nature generally require a large amount of spend, a large amount of time and a large amount of effort from a lot of people to deliver their desired outcomes. Given all of these variables, projects by their very nature are vulnerable to outside factors that introduce risk. Also, inherently by their own disruptive nature, projects introduce risk to existing environments. And given that, methodologies are introduced to try and give control, to guarantee the outcomes while minimizing the risks that projects are vulnerable to and that they introduce. Well, what do we mean by framework? Well, on The Pragmatic Professional, my aim is to keep things as simple as possible and as jargon-free as possible. Unfortunately, the project management industry, if we can call it an industry, is full of over-technicalities and laden with jargon, so let's keep it really simple. Effectively, methodologies provide a series of stages that a project can walk through from start to finish to provide that control and deliver the outcomes in a controlled fashion. And while individual methodologies may differ, generally project management stages are aligned around an initiation stage, a planning stage, an execution stage, a control stage, and a closure stage. And we'll go through those stages individually in detail in a future video. And within each of those stages, there are individual processes, tools, documents, or artifacts as they're sometimes referred to help guide the project manager and project team through those stages one by one in that controlled fashion. And all of that is very important. And once you've learnt those stages, how to manage the processes, the tools, the documents, the roles within those stages, then in theory you're a project manager and you can manage a project from start to finish. However, you've learnt to manage a project, you haven't learned how to be a project manager. And this is where the difference comes in. You've learnt the process of project management. You've learnt the series of steps that you need to perform to take a project from start to finish and the tools you need to do it. You've learnt a series of predetermined, standardized steps that are aimed at achieving a predetermined, standardized quality of outcome. But treating project management as simply a series of steps to be performed with a series of processes and tools to support it is a very scientific approach to what is actually a very complex, unknown, highly variable set of circumstances over a long period of time involving a lot of people. And my premise is that project management's an art form, not a science. However, the constant addition and evolving of methodologies are propagating project management as if it is a scientific subject. To be a great project manager, you need to master the art of project management, the soft skills and behaviors that methodologies cannot teach you. You need to be able to work with a customer who has an idea, some outcomes that they want that maybe they can't articulate perfectly. You need to be able to extrapolate that through reason questioning. You need to be able to storyboard that and turn that into a documented idea that will ultimately be used to seek investment. You need to develop problem-solving skills that will turn that story, that idea, that concept into tangible physical deliverables that will deliver those desired outcomes for that customer and also determine in what order they will go in. You need the skills and behaviors to be able to form a team of experts that will help you in that problem solving to work out what will be delivered and create a very detailed plan that will dictate the order and the sequence and the timing of those deliverables over a long period of time. You need the experience and expertise and foresight to think about what can go wrong in a project, to be able to identify key trends that could disrupt the project that you're working on, as well as what the project you're working on could do to disrupt existing environments. You need to develop leadership skills to lead that team of experts working on those deliverables through a long, pressured, uncertain time. And finally, you need the skills to be seen as the overarching expert of the project, ensuring that everyone is in the loop and everyone feels confident and comfortable with the progress of the project, as well as any issues that arise within it. So while learning methodologies is important and understanding the steps required to complete the project from start to finish is important, only learning that can be detrimental. It's akin to learning the piano without actually learning to read music. You can learn multiple songs by hand, by ear, or by video, by watching YouTube, and you can play those songs quite proficiently. But you'll never learn the underlying skills required to be a true musician. You'll play those songs and you may even sound really good playing those songs to people who are watching or listening to you play. But the moment you encounter a song or a piece of music that you haven't learned, you become out of your depth and you fail. And it's very similar learning to be a project manager. The moment you encounter something that the process or the methodology cannot deal with or cannot demonstrate, you start to flounder. And by no means am I anti-methodology. My background is as a Prince 2 practitioner, and I believe methodologies have done great things in providing a standardized framework, a standardized, visible way of taking a project from start to finish, while also providing a really clear method of oversight for those projects. They do have their limitations. They don't address what I believe is the most important factor in successful project delivery: the person managing the project, the project manager. They teach how to manage projects, but not how to be a project manager. And over the 20 years I've been doing this job, and probably longer in my career, I've noticed an increasing trend to add and evolve methodologies and create new hybrid methodologies, which I think only muddy the waters of what is already a highly misunderstood and highly overcomplicated kind of industry. Organizations, particularly large blue chip organizations, love a new trend, love an industry buzzword, and that can lead to a key distraction from what is actually important when delivering projects. And the reality is, project management is actually quite simple. At least it's conceptually simple and extremely difficult to execute well. Projects require a lot of effort, a lot of expertise, a lot of focus over a lot of time. They're often very painful, create a lot of disruption, and the idea is to try and minimize that, but in their pure form, they are simple concepts. And the real challenge is for project managers, your chances of success of progressing is directly correlated to the successful delivery of the projects that you manage. Or at least even more scarily, the perception of the success of those projects that you manage. And for new project managers, many of us, myself included, learn the skills and behaviours required to be a great project manager through painful experience and failure. And if you're in an industry or an area where progression and opportunity is limited, that negative perception can have an extremely detrimental effect on your career. So the purpose of my book, The Project Management Mindset, and the series of videos I'll create over the upcoming months to cover that book, are to give you, a project manager, the experience without the negative failure, without the impact of having to learn those the hard way. They will teach you what methodologies can't. They'll teach you the art of project management to complement the science of the methodology. And I do recommend learning the methodologies as well. This isn't an either or. They are meant to complement each other. Learn the methodology so you understand how to take a project from start to finish, and read my book or watch these videos to understand how to perform like a great project manager. And the book, along with the videos I'll create, is broken down into 3 key sections. The fundamentals, so the very basics of project management that you'll need to learn as a new project manager, just to make sure you have the context for the rest of the book. The principles, so these are really the core around what I think it takes to be a great project manager. And these are broken down into 2 key areas: people before processes, and therefore mindset before methodology, and also the 3 roles of a project manager. So I believe that being a project manager is not one role. You actually need to master 3 individual roles that will make you a great project manager. And the remainder of the chapter are the mindset tips. So for each of the 3 roles of the project manager, there are a series of mindset tips that help you think in that role, how to perform that role, because they are soft skills and behaviors, how to get into the mindset of performing that role and understand what's important in how you approach it to be a successful project manager. So if you'd like to learn more and want to follow the series of videos, please subscribe to the channel. I'll aim to release a video at least once a month until the book is finished. If you'd like to read the book, it's available on Amazon, paperback or Kindle edition. I'll put a link in the description below. So if you'd like to ask any questions or understand anything more, my email address will be in the description below, or leave a comment. I'll try and read all of the comments of this video. I do also offer some limited coaching sessions for individuals. So if you'd like to learn project management directly with me, please get in touch. But until the next video, keep it simple and keep it pragmatic.